Give me that remote earphone, please. Fast.
I was sent by the National Working Group. So, as I display the result sheets, you have the rights and the powers and the authority to begin to call the national chairman and secretary. They are the ones that will say, chairman, step down the election.
To reiterate again, Governor Nyesom Wike and Governor Ayodele Fayose provided a totally different list prior to the primary election, which the Governor Dave Umahi-led committee used on the day of the actual election. This list was different from the INEC certified delegate list pasted and given to the aspirants. Following this flawed process, there were many complaints of accredited delegates being sidelined, replacing them with a new set of delegates. This glaring hubbub caused by the Dave Umahi-led committee saw majority of the accredited delegates tear-gassed and thrown into a state of confusion, as well as disenfranchised. This strategic move caused a heavy distraction in the process and allowed those who were not in the accredited INEC certified delegate list be smuggled in and manipulated to vote for an aspirant who was imposed on them by Peter Obi.
I'm faulting the person that produced the delegate because it did not pass the process that is laid down by the constitution of the party. He just woke up and saw him pasted on the wall, on the face of the and again, had it been that they even pasted the so-called doctored list 1 week before the election, people will have the room to even go and meet those people and talk to them. But because they know what they are doing, they pasted it a day before the election. So you will not be able to even to convince that people that they wrote their name. So by implication, they've structured the system to favor a candidate. But one thing is that they are holding themselves down. What is happening today is against the ethics of democracy that Anambra is meant for, and that's why we are heading to the same problem.
We are here because of godfatherism. The present administration is not doing well because of godfatherism. Now, when we allow people like Peter Obi to come in and at the end of the day become a godfather in this state, what are we getting ourselves into? It means that at the end of the day, we have an executive governor who is not independent economically, psychologically, and otherwise.
In spite of the misgivings expressed about the process leading to the election, the Governor Dave Umahi-led committee, acting true to type, threw caution to the wind and went ahead with the exercise, which eventually ended up on a dramatic note. To the dismay of Ifeanyi Ubah and Alex Obiogolu, two of the aspirants who contested the primaries, the Dave Umahi-led committee supervised an illegal exercise fraught with irregularities and declared Oseloka Obaze the winner.
Obaze. 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 653, 654, 655, 666, 667, 668, 669, 670, 671, 672 for Dr. Obaze.
Ifeanyi Ubah, while trying to present the facts that the primaries was a glaring fiasco and the certified list be brought forward, had his microphone taken away.
Let's hear him. Let's hear it.
This election was marked with irregularities. This is INEC list. It was not used in this election. I want the media, I want people to show them. I will allow you to speak. I said I will allow you to speak. I said you will speak.
This sham must be addressed and a redress be sought for all shortchanged candidates. This in itself is not true democracy.
As the Chief Returning Officer, I wish to announce as follows that the total number of accredited delegates today being 28 of August 2017 was 958 votes, delegates. And the candidates scored as follows. Dr. Alexander Odeobolu scored 190 votes. We have Obaze Oseloka Henry scored 672 votes, 672. We have John Ogechu Elega, we were told that he withdrew, so he scored no votes. We have Dr. Oba Patrick Ifeanyi scored 94 votes. We have Ufodike Agolisa. On 26, when we had stakeholders meeting here, he already withdrew from the race for the interest of the party. While Senator Stella Adeze Odua, the caretaker of Anambra State, said she withdrew from the race, that we have no left to that effect. The number of invalid votes were 2. Total number of accredited delegates 958. Total number of votes cast 958. Valid votes 956. Invalid votes 2. I, Mwese David Umahi, Governor of Ebonyi State, and the Chief Returning Officer for this primary, hereby declare Obaze Oseloka Henry, who having scored lawful votes of 672, the winner of this PDP primary, and is hereby returned as the candidate of the party.
The emergence of Obaze, a one-time secretary to the state government under the administration of former Governor Peter Obi, is clearly the perfection of a well-thought-out script. Ifeanyi Uba, suspecting he had been shortchanged from the primaries by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, when given an audience to speak, requested that the list of the delegates used for the primaries be made available. The chairman overseeing the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, and the Dave Umahi-led committee for the Anambra primaries failed to provide the list, suspecting there might be mayhem as a result of their foul play and suspicious activities on their own part, quickly left the venue with the questions unanswered.
I want to state that the list of delegates for this election was given to us by His Excellency on Saturday night, just 2 days ago. I made a complaint on Saturday and I said, in other parties like ABC in Anambra State, their aspirants knew the list close to 4 weeks before election, so we have enough time to campaign to the delegates. As stipulated by the constitution of the party was not adhered to. I also made serve in Anambra State. Like the last time, this is the impunity that people are complaining about. The list which they used in conducting this election, and instead of them responding to my request, they ran away. I thank you, the media. It is now up to them to send the message that, well, PDP is still the party. Go ahead, go ahead.
All right, some drama there, but we'll be filling in the gaps now. Dr. Ifeanyi Patrick Ubah is joining me right about this time. As you can see there, he's a PDP chieftain. Not only that, one of the aspirants at the PDP governorship primaries. If I may also add, Dr. Patrick Ubah is the chairman of the Football Association in Anambra State. So many sides to this businessman. Good to see you.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
All right. The PDP is going to an election, but with a fractured house as usual. But at the weekend, we heard from the National Working Committee of the party, where the committee, as a meeting as presided over by the national chairman, Senator Ahmed McCarthy, said they have decided to uphold the result of the primaries that you and some others are disputing. Where has this left your party, the PDP?
Well, thank you, Wenga. I mean, it's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of problem in Anambra State if that stands, because the whole party is in disarray. Everybody aggrieved. Only the aspirants, but also we have 22 members of the caretaker committee. We have 36 members have also signed, you know, and then a vote of no confidence on the processes that led to
that's the
members of the caretaker, because they were even they were not allowed to even vote. You know, there was no statutory voting, nothing. You know, and if you look at, we have 326 wards in Anambra State. Which, if you are added by 3 times 3, will have given us 978. But we what delegates outside the statutory, which is in line with the party constitution, because there should be statutory delegates. But because these statutory delegates have their own mindset, they are not the kind of people you may need to manipulate. So they decided to cut them off. And even if you look at their figure of 958, you can see that the figure of 958 is not, they didn't even mention that maybe there was 20 absentees from the processes. Now, when you look at the votes, they said, if you look at the votes, the overvoting would have even come in if it was very transparent. Because you can't count from 655 to 666. It's 655 to 666. You know, 666 is a beast figure, you know. But the point I'm trying to raise is the overvoting. So if it was transparent, why didn't we have the overvoting number? You see, we are not even looking at whether it's 6, you know, we are just looking at the deficiency, you know, the technicalities. You know, you can see a governor, you know, bringing out a list from his pocket, you know, and he had a first list. I don't know if it was only 3 names that was in that list, and then it couldn't enter. You know, there's a lot of things that if you look into, and you find that everybody's aggrieved. You can't find a sitting senator, Stella Odua, coming in an election, even though she withdrew that very morning. But people from her were supposed to be there. And the sitting senator, you did not even give her one single vote, because she didn't ask the delegate from Obaru to vote for Obaze. So you look at it, she knew that she would not get that. And then you see, it's appalling for you to see somebody who has that kind of stand coming into an election, and then, in fact, for me to get 94 votes, it means that people still love me.
let me try to take the issue one after the other. Most of you who spoke before the primaries, eventually, all of you aspirants who spoke, kept mentioning the names of two governors, the River State governor and the Ekiti State governor. What role did they play in the process starting with the election of delegates for the primaries?
In fact, at this point, I must exempt Ayo Fayose, because he was like Wike took over the whole thing. Fayose knowing very well that things were not correct. But the problem Anambra people have with Fayose is that Fayose did not come out like the real Fayose people knew to condemn the issue or to even take over and tell Wike, no, don't do this to Anambra people, because Fayose is loved by Anambra people. But throughout the whole processes, you know, he was calm. He was even sleeping, you know, when he came to Anambra State. So the issue remains, Wike came in with a mindset to you know, disenfranchise people who has helped him to get into River State as a governor.
Why will he do that?
Well, it's about politics. Maybe he's scared of something. It's about politics. It may be what he was told. But I see no reason why. At a point, I went to Wike. He was in charge of the foundation, the World Congress. Because the 3-man delegate.
That's where the delegates were elected.
Yeah, that is where the delegate, he came to conduct the 3-man Congress, which will now give birth to those that will come to vote in the primary. So because he came, he took the first page, according to what you have seen from people, and then left. He told us, go to the world where we are here, we must do this thing, it must be free and fair. So people went to the world, but not knowing that INEC, because same PDP have written to INEC, asking INEC to observe. So INEC observed the election, collected the results, and then sent it to Abuja. So Abuja developed the CTC of the delegates that are supposed to have been, you know, those that will vote. Yeah. So, and because, you know, in their own myopic sense, you know, reasoning, they felt that they have their way, not understanding the constitutional requirements. I think they don't understand the mechanism of how, you know, how these things, you know, operates. So what we did was to follow the due process of going to Anambra State, asking INEC officials the list they observed, and then we followed it to Abuja, collected the city's copy on 25th, the city's copy of the real delegate list. So we started campaigning on the ground.
Based on the list
of delegates on INEC list. So, but we were surprised. Now they kept hiding their list, and then brought the list on Saturday night, and then bringing the list on Saturday night for election that will be conducted on Monday. And we said, Governor, why bringing this? This election, this World Congress happened on Monday. By Tuesday, Wednesday, at least we have seen the list. So we still have the INEC list. We said, okay, let's watch and see what they will do on Monday. Then on Sunday, when we viewed the list, it was totally different from the observed INEC delegate list.
Who was responsible for changing the list of the delegates that emerged at the World Congresses?
No, according to they wrote it in Port Harcourt. They conducted it, you know, in cohort with Mr. P2B. They wrote that
they generated a different
list, and then those people were camped outside Anambra State. So they also played a kind of you know, game with people, that the party people, and housed them in different hotels. So we still went there to campaign, even on that Monday morning, not also knowing that those people would not be the same people. So when we came to the field, there were about 3 different types: those that are on INEC list, you know, then those that we saw in the hotel, then people about 80 years old, people 70, 80 years old farmers. And you know, it is in the way they conduct, everybody was writing names. So we asked people, can all these people know how to write Obaze name and Fanyoba and co names? You know, and that you don't even, only 2 invalid votes. And nobody saw when they were writing names. They took the camera off that track. So they were writing that name. Some of them were coming with lists already written. So it's totally sham, and it's not good for PDP image. This is the time PDP is trying to rebrand, and then I'm sorry for McAfee. If Sharif can get it right in Osun State, then why Anambra? And knowing very well the potentials of Anambra State to Igbo land and also to Nigeria, I don't think McAfee would have used this to open his administrative...
A lot of people will still wonder, what interest do you think those who conducted the World Congresses and subsequently changed the list, what interest do you think they will have?
The foundation...
For example, you mentioned, okay, you said Governor Fayose didn't take active part.
He didn't act, Fayose was just observing.
But he was asked to go and conduct.
He was there. He was
if
the
things,
second.
If
He
things
was
were going wrong, he had a higher responsibility as the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum.
Yes, sir.
To speak out.
Yes, sir.
If he didn't speak out, isn't there something wrong with that?
Well,
now, again, what interest will Governor Wike have in an election in Anambra State that they would not want to follow due process? A lot of people will not probably go
well, there's a lot of interest. 2019 PDP, you know, is the problem we have in PDP. Remember, it emanated from River State. When Gulak and all the party members, faithfuls, were asking that they should give peace a chance for Northeast to finish their tenure of 3 months. It was in everything today that is happening in PDP emanated from River State under Wike. Wike is the hatchet man. Wike is the alpha and omega. Wike want to run PDP down. And I told him, I said, sir, don't do this to Anambra people. I went to Wike, I went to River State, even on start Monday morning. I was there till 3 a.m. just to tell him, be fair to Anambra. Look at INEC list, INEC observed list. Don't do this to Anambra. And he was ignoring me, you know, and I left. I got to Anambra State. I told our people, let us go there. I know that they have plotted, but if I didn't get involved in that processes, then I wouldn't have had locals today to go to court. So other people withdrew because the shame was too much on them. You know, but I said no. Understanding the legal implications, I have to be, even if they give me 2 votes, let me be in the process so I can have locals to challenge the irregularities in court. And that's where I am.
You also mentioned another name, the name of a former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. What interest will he have in all of this that he will also effort to undermine the rules of the party?
Even the problem is Peter Obi is not bringing Oseleka to win the election. Peter is fighting for his 7 billion that he's demanding from Obiano.
Which 7 billion? Or what
7 billion? He said he used 7 billion to get him into becoming a governor. There was a meeting in Imo State. Obiano governor.
But Obiano is not in PDP.
No. Then Abga, he was in Abga. You remember that we went in to bring Peter Obi into PDP. Ababio, and Olisameto and co. We brought him.
That was after he was already.
Yes, we brought him.
With the successor.
Yes. So and it has always been in the front burner between issue of 7 billion. Yeah, a lot of people have meditated into it. The last mediation was in it. He's looking for 7 billion. So he's bringing this young man in order to use him to checkmate Obiano. I'll box him into giving him that money. And there are meetings about
7 billion. 7 billion.
That's what he has. He's been there. There's a lot.
He said that was what he spent to make him governor.
Yes, and then he needed that money from him. So he's bringing Obaze in order to use him to box Obiano in, because Obiano, he can extract a lot of voters from Abga structure. In order to even allow whoever that wants to win. So he's not even interested in PDP winning the election. His interest is in his money, in the 7 billion. So, and our meeting prior to this election in Imo State, where this issue of 7 billion was discussed just about a month ago.
I'm confused.
Don't worry.
I'm confused as to how that will play out.
I won't want to waste our airtime. We will get there because this is just part 1. So other parts will come.
that's the interest of Peter Obi in all of this.
His interest is just...
So if Obaze wins, Obaze will
No, not if Obaze wins. You know, he wants to use Obaze to box in the governor to give him his 7 billion. If Obaze cannot win, you don't see Anambra when Obaze, nobody know him in his ward, nobody know him in the state.
But he has been secretary to the state government.
Being a secretary,
he was also secretary to Obiano, Obiano took over.
Coming back from UN, being maybe an administrator is different from being a politician that people can say, we know this person. So in being a secretary to the government, what has he done? Can he just come to the television or anything, state what he has done to even his own community? Even his own community. And how can you compare such a person with a man who built a stadium a state has not built in 25 years, who has a radio station, multiple radio stations in the East?
Who is that?
So much, that's me. Okay. So much investment, and then at the same time, I'm close to my people. And how can, and one of the painful points is, why should we go into election, you know, and then such a person, you know, slap me to the point that I have only 94 votes? It means he wants to kill my political career. So there's a lot of things, you know, in my mind, and I feel that no matter the pleadings, because they have been coming to me, pleading with me to see how we can work together, but we can work together under these great irregularities. And then for the fact that also PDP is a party I have labored for, I don't think we have to get a number right.
I know that at the point before even the primaries took place, I read a report somewhere, I can't remember which of the newspapers now, even questioning your membership of the PDP.
Yeah.
That you had left the PDP,
yeah.
You ought to have been disqualified during the screening and all of that.
Yeah. And people said that I left PDP, and I asked the question, if I left the PDP, knowing very well the kind of person I am, I don't move around my state with myself alone. I wouldn't have entered any political party from the night, you know. For you to go into any other political party, you must go to the ward office, go to the local government office, go to the state office, or national headquarters of the party. So if you have not stepped into any of these offices, why are they, trying to?
So you never left the PDP for the APC?
I am a politician. People comes to me to seek for me to.
Did you leave for the APC at any point in time?
So what?
Did you join the APC at all?
No,
some people were trying to use.
No. I have APC coming to my house to lobby me to join APC.
After the 2015?
Yes, but the problem is this. How do I join APC when I have labored so much in PDP without tripping? And I challenged, I said, if anybody can say anything government of Jonathan gave me for all I have done, please let him go to the A and then state it. I have worked my heart for PDP, and I have also aspiration as a politician, as a human being, you know, and I don't think it's right for me to join any political party, you know, abandoning PDP for just no cause. So it is very, very, it's not sensible for anybody to feel that. But we are all Nigerians, you know. You can have relationship with any political party, and people can come to your house. You can't block them. You know, I have APC people coming to my house to lobby me within Anambra State. But the point is this. I have never stepped into ward office of APC, local government of APC, or any state office of APC. But I have sympathy also for them. I must not tell you the truth. If they can help me more than PDP, why will you tell me? I'm straight. I'm straight to the point. You know, and I have friends also in APC, so I cannot totally condemn or deny APC. But the point is that I have not taken APC. I have not gone to APC office to join APC. And let me be straight and make the point straight, so I don't need to run around it.
All right. The fact that you seem to be the only one that is still feeling aggrieved, has that diminished?
No. We are two. The guy that came second, you know, when we went to the appeal panel, Alex Obiogolu, when we went to the appeal panel says Stella and John Emeka, former minister, that they don't have locus because they did not participate in the primaries. So it is now, it left two of us, I and Obiogolu. And Obiogolu is fighting because he is also fighting to or to justify that Mr. Obaze didn't get the requisite waivers, you know, because he only came there. He brought a newspaper publication where Mr. Obaze, 4 months to the primary, was saying that he doesn't know yet the political party that he will join.
4 months before.
4 months before. Do you
before.
understand me? And then on the day of our screening, there was a petition on him that he didn't get the waiver. And then also we got Bob Effiong report certified by PDP.
That's Senator Bob Effiong.
Senator Bob Effiong report where they mentioned that he doesn't have waiver, but they will give him provisional waiver pending when he gets the waiver from the arms that are supposed to give him waiver in line with the party constitution.
Which will be the ward, his ward.
No. Even the party, you know, and then the party have not. There was no meeting yet.
To give him waiver.
To give him, you know, period to our election. So you can you can't even get him to become without having a waiver from the party, and it's part of the things that they are using against him.
Let me read some tweets. Negedu Victor James says, if Ayoba should join the APC, I think it's more credible party than the PDP in the state. Next one, Tony Uzo Anthony. Dr. Ayoba, you are a warrior. I'm proud of you. No matter how they try to oppress you, your goodness will surely rescue you. Oshima says, if Ayoba, please bear the slap.
Has transferred in Anambra State. I don't think, I don't know where PDP will be in 2019.
Isn't it not?
We work for PDP, and we know how we get them to that point. Even when PDP was not ready for that election in 2015.
Judging by the opinions that even those who are sending tweets to us are saying, aren't you worried about developments in your party? This is a party that had been in crisis since 2015 after losing the election. They just got over it after the Supreme Court judgment.
Yeah.
And they told Nigerians that it's a new PDP and all of that. Incidentally, some of the leaders that have been the ones mounting this new PDP, where there will be no impunity, a PDP that will obey its own rules and all of that, are some of the names that you have also mentioned there as perpetuating the exact opposite of all of these things they have told Nigerians that the new PDP will pursue. Doesn't that make you worry?
Well, that is why we decided to allow the processes of party mechanism. You know, we don't need to come out in public to wash our dirty linen. So we decided to inbox it within the party. But you know, to our dismay, McAfee still uphold his own conscience, his own view to this. So, and that doesn't show quality of a leader. That does not show quality of a leader, and he got it there because if they have done what is right, in fact, even to the point that 4 of us, I, John Emeka, former minister, Stella Odwa, and even the Obiobolu, had an understanding that in order to save PDP out of this mess, let us work for a unity government. That if PDP pick any of us,
through a transparent process,
any of us, not through a just pick any of us, that we will all join to work, but not Obaze. So
why not Obaze?
Because he has no requisite requirement to be to even contest the election. He has no waiver. He's not a member of our party. And you can't just come look at PDP coming to fight for somebody who is not a member of party and want to use that person to run the whole entire 16 years of PDP or all the PDP have achieved, including the goodness that God has just given PDP to at least amend their errors. So why are you killing yourself for this, if not impunity? Why are you killing yourself for Peter, who just came in, and who was even the architect of why PDP lost the election? You know, so why? The other parts will come. I don't want to open up because more is coming, and I'm ready for this. I'm ready. I have never been scared of, fighting for justice, especially as it affects me and the ordinary poor people, because we will have gotten it right to go. And so what is there is 4 of us, everyone, 5 of us, but 4 of us out of 7, 5 of us, are now in one camp against just one person. And we told the party, signed a memorandum, gave it to the party, said, choose anybody, not Ifeanyi, not so it's not being desperate, but it's been addressing anomalies and then impunity.
All right, let me read some tweets, and I'm going to ask you finally, because it's just about a month to election.
Yeah.
And I'm worried whether all
you are in court.
You are in court already.
Yeah, I'm already in court. Yeah.
Okay, I'll still come back. I'll still come back to you. Michael Oko says, "Bega tell Ifeanyi that His sincerity is applauded. It's rare to see a politician like this. And then the Adobe says, Dr. Ifeanyi is a loyal party member and is giving his best to the party. But PDP is a party that doesn't reward loyalty. Okay, maybe I'll allow you to speak to that too. Can anybody give evidence on this 7 billion demand on Peter Obi, or they just want to spoil the name of a good man? Okay. Wike and Fayose will surely keep PDP because they believe that politics is a do or die thing. Even in Rivers State, PDP is dead. That's hefty Mark Robinson that is saying that. Then Michael Loko said, Bega tell Ifeanyi that his sincerity is applauded. It is rare to see a politician telling the truth on air, as he has been mentioning names even. Then Uwabu Gold says, it is quite a pity that PDP didn't care that the whole primary sham was filmed. PDP has lost on arrival. All right, I was asking you where it's just
about the 7 billion, please. Okay. I want to challenge Mr. Peter Obi to a debate openly, and I will show the world the evidences I have about the 7 billion demand from him. If he is true to his sincerity and all he has been preaching to Nigerians, I challenge him to come to Focus Nigeria, where I can show Nigerians evidence that led to my position or what I have just said. I have no reason to run Peter Obi down, but I have reasons to state the truth of what he's after. He's not after PDP winning Anambra State. All he wants is, he designed a law saying that PDP should produce somebody from the north. And I said something, why not? We from the south held it for 4 years under Mbadneju. For 4 years under Mbadneju. In 2003, we moved it to Central, where Central held it for 11 years.
That's between Stadium.
Ngige and Peter, they are all from Central. And Obiano is already there for 4 years. So equity demand that it will come back to South, because South is bigger than North. South has been funding this party more than the North. In terms of numbers, we are bigger. In terms of financial, in terms of everything, in terms of being party members and party faithful. So, but Peter Obi, in his own, cunning way, shifted it to the North, tried to whip sentiment for the North, even when they didn't ask him. And I said, if, for example, Andioba, who is in APC, has gotten his mandate, Andrew is from South. So there is no time in Anambra State we had this issue of law, but he used it to brainwash a lot of people. So my issue is that it is high time P2B will stop brainwashing Nigerians.
All right. You said you are in court. We'll keep track of that. And I'm sure this issue has not...
Yeah, I'm going to court. I didn't say. I said I'm going to court. Yes, I'll be going to court.
Yeah, so grammatically it's correct. If you are going to court, means you are in court. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your finding time to be here. Dr. Ifeanyi Patrick Kuba is a PDP chieftain, also one of the aspirants in the governorship primaries of the party that is generating a lot of uproar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Focus Nigeria today. Thank you for investing your time with us. Enjoy the rest of the day. Do stay out of trouble so that our paths may cross.